News reporter Jama-ah is in District 6. A very good afternoon to you. Just talk to us about what's happened there, if you've interacted with any claimants, and what's taken place so far.
Good afternoon, Zinga. I am joined by the leader of Al-Jamal at Parliament, Mr. Hendricks. He is the one who initiated this visit by the Deputy President, that he is here today to conduct this oversight. The party has one seat in Parliament, but I guess, Nzinga, it shows that even if you have a seat in Parliament, you still have an impact. Your voice can be heard. He's one of the people who were born here in District 6, and he was affected by the forceful removal of those 60,000 families who were removed and settled in some parts of Cape Town. He's going to talk to us more about what it means that the president managed to hear him and set aside this day to come and interact with beneficiaries and some of the claimants at District 6. Mr. Hendricks, you asked a question to the Deputy President in Parliament, and he is here today.
Oh, I'm so happy and excited that the Deputy President kept his word. As you know, there were over 100 houses standing empty for nearly 9 months, and people were very keen to move into the houses. They wanted to have the keys, they were allocated, and many of them are Muslims. And I wanted them to move in before the start of Ramadan, which is the 4th of April. And I'm very happy that they will get their keys from today onwards, and that they were able to move into their houses before the start of the month of Ramadan. And they must be very excited. And since I went to Parliament, because I was a kid in District 6 that made it to Parliament, every time I had an opportunity to ask an oral question to the Minister, to the Deputy President, to the President, I conveyed the concerns and the struggles of the people of District 6. And now finally, the Deputy President has come to District 6 with many members of the Inter-Ministerial Committee on Land Restitution. That, I think, is a great honor to restore the dignity of the people of District 6.
You're saying there were empty houses with no occupants. People were waiting to be allocated. When you hear the Deputy President and the ministers saying here, what was the problem in allocating those people to the empty houses?
I think that the city of Cape Town and the provincial government, they were not willing to issue the occupational certificates. So although the houses were allocated, they were not willing for some reason or another to issue the occupational certificates, so they could not move in. So the Deputy President said, when he heard that in Parliament, he said, let me go and see for myself and make sure that the people get their keys, and that is what is done.
Your mother passed away without having managed to return back to District 6.
Yes, when President Mandela came, the first 100 beneficiaries were identified, and she proudly went onto the stage. I think she was number 21. And but then she told the children that she wants to be the last of the 100 to move in. She wants the other people to move in before her. But unfortunately, they abandoned the first 100 list. So in the next tranche, she was left out, and she died before she could return to District 6. She wanted to return to a safe house where she gave refuge to families, relatives of people incarcerated on Robben Island in 1960 after the treason and the Ravonia trial. And I was an 11-year-old kid, and I took them from our house in Rochester Road to the harbour to board the ferry to Robben Island. And that's what we did for many years until we were forcibly removed and the house demolished.
How was the experience when you were removed here as an 11-year-old at the time? How did it feel?
Oh, it was very traumatic, because we were living in a street, we were living in a safe house that some of the intellectuals, like Dr. Mafeji, Judge Fikali Bam, used to mentor us and spend time with us. And we were looking forward that the revolution will come very soon. And then before the revolution come, the Group Areas Act then moved us. So my friends in District 6 used to accompany me when I took the people to the Robben Island ferry. And we were very close, so now we were scattered. My mother went to Woodstock. Eventually I landed up in Belhar. My friends were in Bonteheuwel, in Hannibal Park, all over, and we were scattered. We had no mosques here in District 6. There were quite a few mosques. There were madrasas. There were the Silver Tree Rugby Club, Produce Springboks. All of that was gone, and we were now left all alone. And it was very sad and very traumatic. But worse than that is the 22 years that people had to wait after being given the land back. That is for me torture.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hendricks. Nzinga, we're going to leave it at that. Mr. Hendricks saying that unfortunately his mother passed away without being given back, without being returning back to District 6. And there are many claimants, Zinga, that we are listening their stories inside. Their parents passed away, but it's a joyful day to those who have received their keys. Some are going to receive the keys today. Some they received their keys 9 months ago, and today they are going to go and sleep inside these houses. With that, back to you at the studio.